Hello, it's a dark episode for January the 21st, 2023. Hooray. Let me get the date right. Um, Saturday in the park. It's not the 4th of July. Yes, the end of my work week. And where am I at? I watched BookTube today, which I guess is worth noting because I don't really watch a lot of BookTube. I seem to kind of dip in every once in a while. And yeah, so I watched Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading do her kind of thing. I watched Brian at Bookish do his. Watched Sean, the Book Maniac, do his kind of weekly thing. And at the moment, I am watching Joseph Francis Burton. Actually, I think he's changed his title thing, but Joe, talk about Stephen S. Donaldson. Stephen S. Is it S. Donaldson? And his Thomas Covenant series, which I guess was still fucking going. It's like book 9 of it. It was in 2010 or something like that. And it sounds like it's gotten, I mean, it was pretty individualistic back in the very original series. Pretty, you know, I'm not gonna compromise kind of thing, even though it sounds like he was actually quite heavily edited at that point, probably for his benefit, because Joe was talking about book 9 where he is not edited, and this is like, there's a giant barrier at the beginning of this book, which is characters just talking and talking and talking and talking. Um, and Joe's doing a really good job of talking about, how actually vital this book is. Vital as in it's got vitality to it. It's got a real vision to it. It may be misguided in ways of, not needing a very stern editor and having characters that are kind of, nothing about some of the characters just do not become anything, any identifiable. But Joe's doing like a really good job of just delineating this book, in a book that I'm not ever going to read. I mean, I he was talking about how he started this as a read along with a bunch of other people who had started the Thomas Covenant series, and I'm quite certain he is the last man standing. He's quite certain he's the last man standing who is slowly going through all of these books, but he's kind of that driven kind of guy, Joe, where if he starts something, he finishes it, which is like, hats off. I mean, I was the other side of things of like, I read the first series back in the 80s, and I don't need to read anymore. That was enough for me. I know myself right now that I would hammer into the first series where the main character rapes a young woman, at the start of that series. I know I would just hammer into a wall, so I didn't even start, which is probably good on me because everybody who went through the first 3 kind of tapped out pretty quickly after that, for the most part. But yeah, it's really great listening to him talk. And it's funny how, of the people I listen to, are all really wonderful people, but Joe having this kind of magnificent obsession about Stephen R. Donaldson and talking through the books, is what I'm responding to the most, which is probably heartening because, as BookTube career goes, I am probably closest to Joe as I am to anyone. I can only aspire to be as as individualistic as Joe. Though, I've filmed myself in 4,640 whatever videos now in my backyard and various other places, and never actually shared them with the world. So I guess I am my own sort of crazy, my own sort of eccentric, whichever one. I guess if I have enough money, I'm eccentric. If not, I'm just fucking crazy. You can decide for yourself after watching all 4,000. I'm probably far too mundane to be crazy or eccentric. I'm just kind of grinding here. Um, but nevertheless, um, yeah, yeah, it was interesting that it's Joe that I'm kind of responding to. I'm probably not gonna comment on his video just because I don't have anything to say other than, wow, that's quite amazing stuff. Theo is deciding to rearrange stuff behind me. Um, yeah, so that was, I guess, in a way heartening because there's the other people who are kind of going on with their kind of the regular booktube lives, and I feel like I decided not to do that. I don't know. I guess if I do another waffle video, that might be a case of that. I might do a waffle video. You never know. But I think it'll have to be under my own speed and not just as an obligation. I think is what I'm thinking. I might just film them, not publish them, and until something hits me, and then it really hits me, and then I'll publish that actually publicly. Maybe, I don't know. I have a lot of big ideas. I have a lot of small ideas, and whether I execute any of them, who knows? Who knows? Or if I even do execute them, whether I do actually publish them in a public forum is also very much up for grabs. All right, I will leave it there, and we shall see what the weekend contains. All right, more videos later.